Good afternoon, world. Stay strong in Jesus. So, we got Veterans Day coming up tomorrow, and I happen to be a veteran. 4 tours in Iraq, 2 in Afghanistan. Helped build the prison down in Guantanamo Bay, and stood watch down there at the hospital, among other things. Plus 30 deployments over 20 years. Always to some place that most people would not want to ever go. But I always wanted to go where the work was, and the harder the work, the better. And I did 20 years. I had wanted to do more, but my last 10 years, all I did was kill myself. And my last 3, I was stationed with the teams down in San Diego. And by teams, I mean basically all special warfare. Delta, the intel guys, any secret government agent or combat team out there I probably worked with or helped them get to their destination. I've done a lot, I've seen a lot. And I always remember not remembering Veterans Day. Not that I ever remember celebrating while I was in the military, getting the day off while in war. I just did my job, and most of my life was falling apart back home. Never got to see my kids. Got a bunch of ex-wives. I maybe have some kids out there I don't even know about. We never celebrate Veterans Day in the military. Yeah, always the stuff on TV for the presidents and everything like that, but for the most part, when you're down and dirty, doing what you need to be doing on an everyday, especially as a CB, yeah, there wasn't going to be an easy deployment. And if it was, you were probably an officer. Don't get me wrong, I've met a lot of really awesome officers, and the best ones I've met were ones that went from enlisted to officer, because they just got it. And now, even now to this day, I'm sick. I got a fever. Every surgery, every knife wound, every broken bone that I ever had, I feel right now. But I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to work tomorrow, because that's the end of the season here in Michigan, and it's not a lot of work in the wintertime, especially for an old man that can't take the cold as well. And I was an equipment operator, and I got probably over 800 convoy missions in Iraq and Afghanistan alone. Not to mention the amount of asphalt I've done, bridges I've built, concrete I've poured, stone that I've laid on a building. And I'm a stonemason now. I'm still going to go to work for the people that need me to go to work, even though I'm a veteran. And I'm always looking out for the boys and the girls. I know there's some of them out there that went to combat, and I never miss an opportunity to say God bless, brother. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your service. And whether they actually were veterans or just somebody that had been in the military, they got my respect. Just like anything else in life, somebody's got to do those other jobs so that we, as the warfighters, can do ours. Sorry, my shoulder hurts. I'm trying to hold this weird. As people, as Christians, as veterans, we get lost in this life. We're always trying to get this and get that and schedule everything out. We got to be men. We got to work every day and wake up at 4 and run 20 miles and all this stuff like that. If you want to do that, go right ahead, but I'd rather spend the time with my family now. Having a couple extra pounds around your waist and an unshaven face, ain't nothing wrong with that in the great scheme of things. You never see somebody like this wearing a suit unless they're trying to sell you something. God bless everyone. Serious. I'm already getting into the Christmas spirit. Thanksgiving. I love making food for people and bringing everybody together as family. I love telling my story. I love getting people interested in something that I hope they never have to do. I hope they never have to give up all that most men that go to war give up. And I'm not saying I gave up 0.1% of the guys that never came home. But there's a lot of guys that are here that aren't home. They're lost in that war. Veterans Day shouldn't just be one day. And considering less than 1% of the nation defends the nation willingly, and at the end, it would be nice if somebody gave us a break every once in a while. But hey, we're men, right? I remember President Obama said back in his thing when I was still in the military, he's like, if we were true patriots, he said this on live TV, if we were true patriots, we would not ask for a retirement or our medical bills to be paid for the rest of our life. And I don't know if he was being sarcastic. And if you took my benefits away, it wouldn't be any different. Well, at least my health benefits, because I can't even afford to get an x-ray. and I pay health coverage just like anybody else did when I was in the military too. Oh yeah, it's not free in the military either. It's just added in with the price of everything. So, yeah, it's different. You don't really have to worry about it as much in there, but then again, most of the reasons that I would need to go to a doctor anyways are because of the stuff that I did while I was in. I remember just signing all these forms when I was in ADAC, one of my first duty stations. I was working as a firefighter up there, and I loved it. And we were going inside burned buildings without masks, and we were backdrafting it, trying to be that hard-ass man that didn't need no mask. And then meanwhile, everywhere training around these humongous piles of asbestos, and you had to sign this waiver. And everybody that goes to Alaska at the time, you had to, especially if you worked for the fire department, you had to do a lung test. And you basically got everything put into, the whole lead waiver and all that stuff. Like, The building's been there. Those buildings been up there and since before World War II. You know, like. Anyways, seen a lot, done a lot. I've done a lot for my country. I'm not asking for anybody to give me $1 million. I'm just asking for y'all to maybe try to help out some of these guys and gals that have given so much for this country. And now that this whole election thing's over, maybe we can get back to helping some people and making this country great again. Maybe understand why you have all these freedoms and why that flag is draped over every one of our coffins. And why it's given as a gift from one country to the other. I have a British flag from some British Special Forces guys we worked with in Iraq. And it's got the blood of one of his comrades on it. And it's a little tattered and beaten up, and I gave him one of my flags that I had. We had done a job with them and got it somewhere. I have a picture of us all on a dozer, you know, big D7 high track, and it's just guys coming together as guys to get things done, but honoring and giving up that flag as if it was a life to another person from another country, or honoring somebody with draping it over their coffin. We fight for that flag because of the people that live underneath the protection of it. So that flag means a lot. But it doesn't mean crap without the guys that have given their life and are still giving their lives for it. So maybe have some respect, give a little prayer, bring Jesus back into your heart, and know that there's a lot of guys out there and gals and their families that are broken because of this craziness that has come out of the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. It's a never ending. It's going on longer than Vietnam, which is our longest war since this one. And what did the Vietnam War get us? Drug trade, the hippie movement, peace and love without responsibility, without understanding where you came from, that gave you that freedom to mock and destroy people's lives because of your righteousness that you presume to have, because you think you're smarter than the common man. I grew up near Woodstock, New York, and I grew up a farm boy around a bunch of people that were making a shitload of money off of organic farming. And we had been doing that our whole life, and it didn't make us any more money. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot, and I ain't nothing special. But I want to love you all, and I want to say, please, let's try to make America better. Let's try to make it great again. And maybe give a little respect to the guys and gals that have given so much for your right to burn that flag. God bless us all. Stay strong in Jesus. He didn't want heaven without us. Have a good day. It's just an old CB telling a story.